What if I told you that almost half of the world's population is quietly forming a mega market, larger than the European Union and NAFTA combined? That's exactly what's happening under the radar with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or SCO. Larger than the EU and NAFTA combined? Interesting, isn't it? At the latest summit in Tianjin, more than 20 world leaders and heads of 10 international organizations gathered, representing countries that together hold 43% of humanity and nearly a quarter of the global economy. Think about that. Almost 1 in every 2 people on Earth is living under this umbrella. And it's not just the usual players like China and Russia. The SCO also includes India, Pakistan, Iran, Belarus and Central Asia, while dialogue partners like Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Egypt are lining up to join. This isn't just a meeting. It could be the start of a new economic map. One where the West no longer sets the rules. If this bloc truly harnesses its market power, the balance of the global economy could tilt in ways most people not even noticing yet. So here's my question to you. Do you think this hidden superpower could rival the West? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And before we continue, don't forget to hit like, subscribe and share this video so you don't miss what's coming next. Back in 1996, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization wasn't even called the SCO. It was known as the Shanghai Five: Russia, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. It was created simply to manage border security after the Soviet Union's collapse, but look at it now.
By 2001, it expanded into a full organization. Fast forward to 2025, and this once small pact has transformed into a heavyweight bloc with 10 full members: China, Russia, India, Pakistan, Iran, Belarus, and the Central Asian states. Together, they represent 43% of the world's population and nearly a quarter of global GDP. And it's still growing. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt are knocking on the door as dialogue partners, while other nations from Asia to the Middle East want in. What started as simple border patrol talks has morphed into something much bigger: a mega market alliance with the power to influence trade, energy, and even technology on a global scale.
The SCO is no longer just about security, it's about reshaping the world economy. At the Tianjin summit, Chinese President Xi Jinping unveiled a vision that could change how the world economy works. He urged the SCO to harness its mega-scale market, a market that already covers more than 3 billion people and about a quarter of the world's economy.
That's larger than the populations of the EU and North America combined. To turn that vision into reality, Xi pledged 2 billion yuan in aid and 10 billion yuan in loans for SCO members. He also pushed new strategies for energy cooperation, artificial intelligence, and green industry, aiming to make the SCO not just a security bloc but a powerhouse of innovation and development. There's even talk of establishing an SCO Development Bank, which would finance major infrastructure and trade projects, much like the BRICS New Development Bank or the World Bank. China has already invested over $80 billion in SCO countries through belt and road projects, and the momentum shows no sign of slowing down. If the SCO can align its economic weight, it could rival the West's dominance and mark the first real step toward a multipolar world order where power is shared rather than concentrated.
So here's a question to you. If the CSO truly unleashes its mega market, could it become the world's most powerful economic bloc? Share your thoughts in the comments. What makes the SCO so unusual is the mix of countries inside it. Unlike NATO or the EU, which are built on strong alliances, the SCO gathers nations that often see each other as rivals as much as partners.
Take China and India. In 2020, their troops clashed in a deadly border fight in the Himalayas. Yet at the Tianjin summit, Xi Jinping and Narendra Modi stood side by side, pledging to be partners, not rivals.
Apparently, some promising Nobel Prize contender worked hard to build this strong partnership.
Both leaders know that cooperation could unlock huge economic opportunities for their countries, even if mistrust lingers. Then there's Modi and Putin. The two reaffirmed their special relationship, with Putin even calling Modi a dear friend. But behind the smiles, India faces US pressure and tariffs for buying Russian oil. The SCO becomes the perfect stage for India to balance between East and West. Meanwhile, India and Pakistan remain locked in disputes over territories, while Russia tries to rally members to back its position on Ukraine, something not all SCO nations are comfortable with.
This blend of cooperation and rivalry is both the SCO's strength and its weakness. It shows the bloc's diversity, but also its fragility. The real question is, can a group so divided on major issues truly act as one economic superpower? Or will old rivalries keep it from reaching its full potential? The SCO is often compared to NATO, but the two operate on very different principles.
NATO is a strict military alliance. An attack on one member is considered an attack on all. The SCO, however, promotes indivisible security, the idea that no country should pursue its safety at the expense of another. It's a looser, more flexible model that avoids binding commitments but raises doubts about how effective it can really be. At the Tianjin summit, leaders signed 20 key agreements that touched almost every sector imaginable. These included a roadmap for energy cooperation until 2030, commitments to expand work in artificial intelligence, green industry, the digital economy, and new centers to reduce crime. With countries representing 43% of the global population and nearly a quarter of the world economy, the SCO's ambitions sound impressive on paper. Yet analysts note that much of this could be more about optics than substance.
Deep divisions remain between members, from India and Pakistan's rivalry to Russia's push for support in Ukraine. The SCO projects the image of a rising global counterweight, but whether it can transform symbolism into lasting power remains an open question. The SCO might look like a regional club, but its divisions ripple far beyond Eurasia. Energy is the most obvious factor. With Russia, Iran and the Central Asian states at the table, the organization commands some of the largest oil and gas reserves on the planet. Any coordinated policy shift from pipeline routes to pricing strategies can influence global energy market.
Then comes technology. China is using the SCO framework to promote cooperation in artificial intelligence, quantum research, and digital infrastructure. By setting standards and exporting its models across member states, Beijing could shape how emerging technologies are governed in much of the world, often outside Western oversight. Trade is another key dimension. US tariffs on India, coupled with sanctions on Russia and Iran, have encouraged these countries to deepen commerce with one another. Within the SCO, they are experimenting with local currency settlements, reducing reliance on the dollar and creating a financial ecosystem that weakens Western leverage.
For Washington and Brussels, this isn't just symbolic. The SCO represents a possible parallel global order, one where markets, technologies, and even supply chains operate independently of the West. If the trend accelerates, the balance of globalization could look very different by 2030s. 2 decades ago, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization looked like a political experiment, a loose club with more handshakes than real weight. Today it's something very different. Xi and Putin see it as a backbone of the post-Western order. Modi plays a balancing act, leveraging East and West, and with Iran now inside, Belarus knocking and Turkey whispering interest, the SCO is swelling beyond its original Eurasian frame. The SCO summits are no longer ignored, they are watched, measured, and analyzed in every Western capital. The real question isn't if the SCO matters, it's whether this bloc of uneasy partners can transform into an institution that finally bends the global order away from the West. What do you think? Fragile club or rising superpower? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe, and don't miss what's coming next. See you very soon.